Hey everybody, today we've got a hypothetical presidential matchup, and we've got two of everybody's favorite candidates. We've got Kamala Harris for the Democrats up against Mike Pence for the Republicans, and this was suggested to me a while ago in the comments. It's a battle of the recent vice presidents, and let me say right off the bat, whatever third parties or independents that are in this race, their vote share is going to go up. I would guess a significant portion of the electorate is not interested in either of these two. It's true there are some Democratic establishment voters that are giddy for Harris. There's some Republican establishment voters that are head over heels for Pence. So I'm going to try to play it out fairly and go through each state. But progressive vote is going to drop. Trump-based turnout is also going to drop. Let's try to go through these states. We'll talk more about it at the end. We'll start in Alaska. It's drifted toward the Democrats, but I still think Pence would win it by an over 10-point safe margin. Hawaii, that's deep blue. It's going safe over 10 for Harris. The West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California. No way they're going to vote for Pence. Harris gets him safe. Now we've got Nevada. This is a tough one. It's very competitive. In the end, I don't think Pence is going to be the guy to flip it. Harris is weak, but she's going to get it by a tilt margin. Idaho, Utah, safe for Pence. Arizona, they do like establishment Republicans there. Even if the Trump base vote sits home, I'm going to say Pence is able to win it by at least 1 point. Maybe it gets up to 3 or 4, but leans for Pence. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Pence. Colorado, it's a blue state. It's easily going to Harris. The only question is, does it get over 10 or not? It could. I'm going to say it's about 9.5 likely for Harris. New Mexico, similar to Colorado, but a bit narrower margin likely for Harris. And North and South Dakota, safe for Pence. Nebraska, at large, safe for Pence. The 2nd district. The district is a little bit redder after redistricting. I think it could go either way, but I put it as a tilt for Harris. Kansas and Oklahoma, red states, safe for Pence. Texas, Harris is not going to get this under 5. Pence is not going to get it over 10, likely for Pence. Minnesota, probably over 5, likely for Harris. How about Iowa? Well, Pence will do a little bit better with evangelicals, even though he's going to do worse than Trump. But with political polarization, it's going to stay likely for Pence. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, more red states, over 10 for Pence. Now we've got Wisconsin. This was the hardest state for me. I went back and forth on this. I had it at Pence, then I switched it back to Harris. So honestly, it's anything goes here. Pence is going to do better in the counties surrounding Milwaukee. He's going to do worse in the Driftless area. But Harris is not going to be exciting voters to the extent she would need to in Dane in Milwaukee. So I don't know. This is a tough call. I would not see Pence winning here 10 years ago, but the Rust Belt has changed. Pence is from Indiana. Maybe that helps him very slightly in a nearby state like Wisconsin, but Pence is a weak establishment candidate. After going back and forth, eventually I gave it to Pence by a tilt margin. I think the national environment would be a big factor here. Harris is also weak, but she is capable of winning the state. Next, Illinois, safe for Harris. Michigan, another Rust Belt state, it borders Indiana. I've already said it, but the third-party vote is going to go up here. When all the dust settles, I gave it to Harris by a tilt margin. Pence is going to win his home state of Indiana by a safe margin. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Pence. Down to Florida. Pence is not the right guy here, but Harris is unable to capitalize on that. It's going to go red. Not sure of the margin, but it's going to be leans for Pence. One state north to Georgia. The Atlanta suburbs are going to enjoy how Trump is not on the ballot, but the red rural counties, their turnout is going to dip because it's Pence. I assume there'd be a lack of enthusiasm in Fulton County in Atlanta. It may be trending toward the Democrats, but in this matchup, I think it would be low single digits, leans for Pence. South Carolina, safe for Pence. North Carolina, in this matchup, Pence is going to be able to carry it by about a 1 to 1.5 point lean margin. Now we go to Ohio. With polarization, Pence is going to still carry this by a likely margin. West Virginia, safe for Pence. All the way in the Northeast, we've got Maine at large. This will be about 9.5 points, easily could hit 10, but I'm going to say likely for Harris. First district, not as blue as it would be with another Democrat, but she's still going to easily carry it by a safe margin. The 2nd district, Pence, not a great fit here, but he's going to carry that by a lean margin. Next door, New Hampshire. Pence, probably a better fit here than Trump, but I still think there's going to be Trump voters here that are going to sit home. Harris is going to carry it by a low single-digit lean margin. Now the blue states, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., safe for Harris. 2 states left. We've got Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, the T counties that were deep red for Trump, they're going to be a little less red. Even if Harris's turnout in Philadelphia is a little bit lower, it is very close, but I'm going to say Harris gets it by a tilt margin. Last state, Virginia, 2 establishment candidates on the ballot. That's going to be great for the DC suburbs. I think it's going to stay blue. It's probably going to be over 5 points, so I have it as likely for Harris. So the final total is 272 for Pence, 266 for Harris. This was a real nail biter. Wisconsin was the closest state. If you flip that, Harris wins it. So I do have Pence winning it, and that is surprising. But at the same time, if Harris won it, I would be surprised as well. The more intriguing thing in this election, I think, would be the third-party vote. I already expect the turnout to drop off a cliff. Both of these two do have experience. I think Pence comes off as more authentic than Harris. Even though his personality I find to be off-putting, I also find Harris's to be at least as off-putting. I think Pence is kind of a classic old-school religious conservative. That's fine if that's who he is. I just don't think that's going to win a national campaign, except apparently in this particular matchup. Pence is going to have a lot of questions to answer about Trump. He was a part of that administration, so he's going to be in a unique position where he has to talk up good things about Trump, but also distance himself just enough to not scare off independents and suburban voters. Again, I don't really think it would work, but somebody had to come out on top here. It looks like it's him, and I suppose we did get a glimpse of these two in the vice presidential debate in 2020. As far as public perception goes in that debate, I actually did think Pence did a little bit better. Harris is going to make appeal to progressives and for women to try to save her. I don't think she would get nearly the kind of black turnout Barack Obama did. So there's a lot of different factors at play here, but I do think the national environment is key. If people thought the economy was great and the Biden administration was firing on all cylinders, then I think Harris would do 1 to 2 points better. It would at least flip Wisconsin. So anyway, this was either a fun one or a horrible one, depending on how you want to look at it. But let me know in the comments, do you mostly agree with this map? If not, which states would you change? Would you flip Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania? And what do you think about these two going at it? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.